The last time that you were in a superhero movie, I feel like the premium was on making it as absolutely realistic as possible. I'm curious if you feel like that taught you something or didn't.
Yeah, Dark Knight trilogy is realistic, but in a heightened reality, of course,
Sure.
but which, I suppose was very unique and new at the time. And I like the two approaches, whether it's Christopher Nolan's, which I was very grateful to be a part of, or whether it's Taika's, and then a bit more similar perhaps to the Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn approach as well, where there is real theatricality and embracing of the sort of campness of it as well. Great humor, but also, it takes a good director to be able to have that humor, but real great sincerity and emotion as well, and there's a wonderful dance of that in Thor Love and Thunder.
I'm curious if there are any other roles maybe that you've played in the past that maybe inadvertently became helpful or beneficial in terms of preparing you for this.
I don't consciously think about it. Every single film, I was not trained as an actor at all, so every single film I go, oh my God, they've hired me again. What a bloody mistake. I better not let them see what a mistake that was, and then I figure it out. And so even though a lot of people, they were asking me the other day, like, oh, you're a method actor. I'm not a method actor. I've got zero method. Never been trained. So I just approach each one separately, and I'll leave it to other people to decide, what influences come from other films.
But the transformational aspect is an integral part of your performances. I'm curious if that's become easier, more difficult, or something that you've sought between these many different roles.
Well, I do like to look in the mirror and not see myself if possible. But obviously with Gorr, that was absolutely essential, and a part of his whole descent into madness and infection.
Taika creates like the most fun atmosphere on set. Like there's always music. Anytime there's a break in shooting, he's got music and he's DJing and he's got a microphone and he's like making jokes over it and like making everyone laugh, like saying stuff over the music. He has the kindest humor of any funny person I know. Like his humor is never making fun of anyone or at anyone's expense. It's like you see what kind of brilliance he has because he never has to resort to that. Like he's so consistently funny and it's just kind. And I think that makes everyone feel very safe because he's like a very warm and good person, and that always makes you feel most safe to try things because if you fail, no one's gonna be like, like you feel like if you fail, someone's gonna be like, let's try a different thing, and you can trust his taste and you can trust his kindness.
Well, look, he plays music non-stop. Music is an essential part of his life, and as you hear in the film, a very important part of the film as well. I too, look to music. You get emotions through the ears. It's really how you feel. So found, different songs that got me into the Gorr mindset. Gorr is a complicated character, and Taika chose to actually have him open the film, which was not originally how the script was. Which may surprise people an awful lot, and the character may surprise people too, because he's, his name is bloody Gorr the God Butcher. You can hear what he does. He's not a good guy, but you might, in a very confused way, be able to understand his pain.
Jane has opportunities both for this intense strength and intense vulnerability. I'm curious, like coming into this, which of those maybe was more challenging for you to kind of bring to life on screen?
I think both. I mean, that was something that I was really excited about because I think that a lot of the time when you have a female superhero, everyone's like, oh, in order to be feminist, it has to just be kick-ass and just has to be like, she's so tough, she's so strong. And I find it much more relatable and much more powerful when someone can be many things.
Taika does such a great job of kind of recapping the minutes of the end of the relationship between Thor and Jane. I'm curious how much of that maybe either synced up or like filled in some blanks for maybe where it was left leading up to this film for you.
Yeah, it was wonderful to get to kind of like explore what their relationship was like before we got here, because it has been 8 years since we've seen them together. And I think even for us as actors, we were like, oh, we need to kind of get on the same page of what happened. What was that like? What is that relationship even possible to be like between between these two people.
Are we also familiar with the idea of superheroes, that it's easy to sort of sink into that world, or does that take a little time and effort?
No, I think it's definitely hard. It was definitely new to imagine myself as part of that, you know, after having been in these superhero movies, but never having been the superhero. And it was really fun, and I felt so lucky to get to experience it. And I was like, oh, I understand why this is so fun for all the people who get to do it.